All right, 1:30, looks like we got a quorum. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Take a look at the minutes.
I did. I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 6th, 2025 meeting.
Well, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. I wasn't here, so but the minutes accurately reflect the fact that I was not here. Good, okay. Cindy, we got some continuances, please.
So we have item number 12, case number 15688 is continued till January the 8th of 2026. Item number 13, case number 16056, continued to January 8th, 2026. And item number 14, case number 16060, continued till January 8th, 2026.
Have a motion on that?
I will make a motion to approve the continuances as read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Did anybody else get a voting panel? I'm waiting. Okay. Want to do a voice vote? Apparently not. Okay, we're going to do a voice vote.
Okay, a voice vote on this item. Mr. Udi? Mr. Noble?
Aye.
Mr. Sita?
Aye.
Mr. Voorhees?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, those three items are continued. If you're here on any of those three items, you're welcome to stay, but we're not going to hear them today. Next item on the agenda is request for a continuance from the public. Does anybody want to move their item? Okay, no consent docket. Cindy, would you call the first one, please?
We have item number 1, case number 16102 is a request of Travis Farrison for a variance to the accessory building regulations located at 4300 Easy Street.
Give us your name and address and tell us a little bit about your application, please.
Yeah, my name's Travis Farrison. Address is 4300 Easy Street in Oklahoma City. So a little bit, I'm asking for two variances actually. One concerning accessory buildings to be located behind the rear wall of the main structure, and the other concerning side and rear yard setback. Reason I'm asking for these is because if you look on the Ferment map, you can see that the back side of my property has been inundated by a floodplain, so these two variances would allow me to then build my accessory building outside of that floodplain.
Okay. I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Questions, comments from the board?
I just have a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
First off, is there an HOA in your neighborhood?
There is not, no.
Okay. And while there are no written protests, and no one is here to protest that, and I know across the street there's an outbuilding that's in front of the back line also.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure when they got that variance, but the two neighbors to your north and your south,
Yes.
I'd like to see that a letter that you get from them.
Gotcha.
That would be an approval of that.
Okay.
And it just,
Gotcha. Yeah, I talked to both of them, both the neighbor to the north, which the building would actually be located on the south side. The neighbor to the north is supportive of it. I help his kids every now and then with any issues that they might have with cars and stuff. Big car guy, which is, part of the reason I want the accessory building. And then the neighbor to the south, I talked to him as well and kind of told him a little bit about it. He knows my 3-year-old son really well, and he said he's super excited for me to get that building. So, I know I can't really speak on their behalf, and they're not here, nor have they written anything, but I have spoken with both of them, and they both seem super supportive of that.
and I do know they did get noticed. I mean, they're within
Yeah.
the notice. It's just that for the future, they try to sell their house or you try to sell their house and
Gotcha.
it's a help.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, do you want to make a motion to continue?
I mean, I would like to defer it for 2 weeks, get the letter, put it in the documents.
Okay.
Or do you want to make it subject to, we don't meet in 2 weeks?
That's true.
I'm fine with it.
You good with that? Making it subject to having the letter before they issue the permit?
Our next meeting is not until January the 8th.
Right, and so. Rita?
Can we approve this with a condition they submit documents later?
You certainly can,
Okay.
as long as you're very specific about what it is you want him to have in those letters.
Okay. For me, I just like a letter of approval from the house on the north and the house on the south, same side of the street.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Or an email.
Yeah.
It's written and can go in the file.
Good. So you won't be issued this
Okay.
variance until those get turned in.
Okay. Gotcha. But I won't have to.
You don't have to
Okay.
reappear.
Gotcha. So just a condition of it. Okay.
Okay.
Are you saying he does not have to return?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So there's always a 10-day appeal time, so perhaps within that 10 days, you could get that and email it to us, and then it would just,
Yeah. I will say the neighbor to the north is gone quite often on business, so I don't know how quickly I can get that, but the neighbor to the south, it should be no issue.
And you can get them to email it. So if you can reach them by email, they write you an email.
Okay.
That'll work.
Gotcha. If I get them to handwrite it and sign it, would that?
That works also.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Good with that.
Make a motion to approve then case number 16102 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance, subject to the condition that the applicant will supply letters from both neighbors to the north and south stating that they approve of the shop being located where it's at, correct?
Yep, the 2 variances.
The 2 variances, correct.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Mine says waiting.
We all got hands.
I vote yes. There.
Start again. Yep, you got it.
I still vote yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
I vote yes.
It was quick.
And just so I can give them an email address, would that go to Ms. Cynthia? Not to put you on the
Yes.
spot.
Oh,
Just put the case number, I'm sure,
yes,
those
sir.
2 letters? Okay.
Yes.
I'll let them know. Thank you.
And I'll be looking for them. I'll let you know that I received them.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, and just for the record, I know it just flashed for a second, but that was approved 4-0.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, item number 2, case number 16107 is a request of Paula Favor on behalf of the town of Nichols Hills and the city of Nichols Hills for a variance to front yard setback regulations located at 424 Northeast 70th Street.
Go ahead.
Okay, Paul LaFever, 522 Colcord Drive. With me are Shane Pate, City Manager of the City of Nichols Hills, and Larry Herzl, Principal of HSE Architects. The City of Nichols Hills operates 27 water wells that provide potable water for its residents. Water well 15 is located at 424 Northeast 70th Street, which is a 2-lane asphalt road. This property is within the boundaries of Acme Acres, a subdivision platted in 1908. This property was acquired in 2 parcels, the first being purchased in 1955. Nichols Hills seeks to install solar panels on the property. That should provide 51% of the electrical needs to operate the pump. The well site is zoned R1, single-family residential. Its use for municipal water well purposes is allowed by right. At issue today is a 25-foot front yard setback required in the R1 district. The applicant seeks to a variance to establish a 5-foot front yard setback that will allow the installation of the proposed solar panels. The existing right-of-way along Northeast 70th Street extends 12 feet south of the paved portion. That, along with the 5-foot setback, will leave 17 feet of vacant area between the edge of the road and the property line. The area around the site, between Santa Fe Avenue to the west and Lincoln Boulevard to the east, has generally developed as a mixed-use commercial and industrial district, with one exception. There is a 4.3 acre residential acreage to the east of the property. That site is over 600 feet deep north to south, with the residents located on the south half of that parcel. The 25-foot setback no longer functions to provide a uniform building line appropriate to an R1 district. Many of the commercial and industrial buildings built in the area are located deep within their respective properties. Conditions within and without the plat have changed so dramatically since 1908 that the continued imposition of the 25-foot front yard setback creates a unnecessary hardship. The proposed solar panels will be 9.5 feet tall from the surface. After installation, the entire site will be surrounded by an 8-foot site-proof fence. There have been no objections received by staff, and no detriment to the public has been identified. This site is unique from the standpoint that in order to safely and efficiently install, maintain, and operate a municipal water well, considerable spacing is required to allow heavy trucks and their attendant equipment to maneuver around the site. Such work can't be safely done right next to a public street. That's resulted in the wellhead and pump house being located on the far south end of this property. If the request is granted, this will allow this site to accommodate the wellhead, the pump house, the proposed solar panels, and still leave room for maneuvering by trucks and equipment. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay. Questions, comments from the board?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. Has Public Works or Utilities spoken on this specifically in regards to reducing the setback to 5 feet? Has Public Works or Utilities addressed this? Have they weighed in on a 5-foot setback and how that would impact them?
I think as a matter of practice, the applications are distributed among all the departments, including Public Works, and I'm not aware of a negative response from them. Have you received anything?
We didn't receive anything.
Yeah, I think that's right. It goes to them, but I think the dates that I saw, it was back in August, and it was pending review. So you're not aware if they've made remarks or comments since that August 19th date?
Okay. Then, no, I've not spoken with them directly.
I think Mr. Uday is referring to the corrections report that was received, but also this variance application is forwarded to other departments for comment prior to this hearing, and we didn't receive comment from them on this specific request.
Thank you.
And there's probably a 50-foot easement through there for the roadway. And you're 5 foot off of that, and you're behind the power poles.
Yeah.
And there's one residential
Yes, sir.
left.
Between the Santa Fe and
Is it right
Lincoln
next
Boulevard.
door? Is it just to the east of this property? Is it just to the east of this
just
property?
to the east, yes, sir. That's the one I mentioned is over 600 feet deep.
Right, and they were notified, I mean, they're within the
Yes.
300 feet, and they're not here to protest. And if this was industrial, zoned industrially, 5 foot would be within the 5 foot setback would be within the zoning.
And am I understanding correctly that there's no other alternative configuration to the solar panels, to the arrays that are there, that could result in a larger setback? I understand the need to vary it, but if we're going to vary from 25 feet to 5 feet, would it not make sense to reconfigure these in a way, or does that alternative not exist to where these could be reconfigured to achieve a 10-foot setback, 15-foot setback?
Well, that could be done in any of your examples there. That's not desired from the standpoint that it reduces the number of panels that can be located on the site, which in turn reduces the percentage of annual electrical savings, and with the substitution with solar power and the use of the power poles. So our request is for the 5 feet, which allows the proposed 70 solar panels to be installed.
And you said there's be an 8-foot site-proof fence all the way around this?
Yes, sir.
With a gate?
Yes,
And what's that fence made out of, the materials, do you know?
wood.
So is it cedar? Do you know? I mean,
We can get that answer to you, but our fences, there's a security measure that DEQ requires as well, so it's a combination of things. There's wood, there's a chain link barbed behind it. So I think typically we do cedar. I think that's typically our plan.
And just for the record, would you give us your name
Oh,
and
I'm sorry,
address?
yes.
I'm sorry.
I am Shane Pate, City Manager for the City of Nichols Hills, 6407 Avondale Drive, Nichols Hills, Oklahoma.
so for me, I mean, I would like to see it to be a cap cedar fence all the way around it for longevity and safety of the neighbors.
Okay?
Anything else?
I think the other question is just if Oklahoma City was to ever improve that and need additional right-of-way, I mean, they just have to work that out with you guys and figure out if they could get it and you could move a panel, so.
This area has, I mean, it's developed, but it hasn't, or is not a developing area. It's rather,
The stuff to the west is still a little bit, there's some lots still available to be developed.
Yes.
And I know there's a landscaper further to the east, and so it does get traveled, but I don't have any problem with that. With the fence and the material change, I think I could get behind it.
Yeah, I don't think I have a problem with it. I'm mostly just concerned with what could be future potential considerations by the city. And so I just want to be clear and be on record that the support that I have of it is strictly based on the fact that it does not appear that there is any reservations or pushback from utilities or public works. I can see where they would have their initial review. If you all are not aware of anything new that's come after that review, I would say that that's sufficient evidence to show that the city is okay with it. As far as the area itself, I think contextually it makes sense. I'm familiar with the area. There's a church camp out there that my kids go to and attend. There's not a lot of development, as you've stated. I don't believe it's an actively developing area, any of those things. I just do have concerns with the right-of-way there and the paving being well reduced within that right-of-way. I don't know what the technical implications would be if the city decided that they wanted to expand that at some point, and if those panels would cause some type of issue. That would really be my only consideration. So provided that you all do not have any information from them that would suggest otherwise, then I would be in support.
thank you.
Anything else?
No, the zoning of this property is R1 residential. And I'm wondering about that 8-foot fence all the way around the property, because I believe in R1, you can't have 8 foot in the front.
Across the front. You can't have in R1 zoning, you can't have an 8-foot tall fence across the front of the property.
So Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality requires us to fence this water well. And further, we will do the cedar with the cap, but they're going to require us to put barbed wire on top of that as well. It's an EPA and DEQ thing.
You're going to come back here to get a variance probably for the barbed wire, because we've already had that a couple weeks ago. And then another variance probably for it to go along the front of the property because it's R1.
Cindy, is this legal non-conforming? Is that how we ended up in this situation?
A water well in R1.
Not sure. I just know with the zoning of the property, have you applied for a fence permit? I didn't see. Okay, because I have a feeling that that's gonna be an issue.
Well, if it does, we'll deal with it.
Okay. Even if it is non-conforming, they're still gonna have to, unless there's already a fence there that they're just replacing. But
Well, I was mostly asking just to make sure that we don't, and I don't know what all of the changes or what things may be triggered, but just to make sure that the variance is the appropriate action here rather than rezoning or some other process, because we are talking about a municipal well site on R1 zone property. So, I mean, the very essence of the reason we're here today is because this site is not compatible for solar panels. It wasn't intended to be in the first place. So we kind of create a situation where there could be a series of variances simply because there's going to be hardships that are in its very nature unique to this site because it's being operated as a well site in an R1 zone.
I will just say, Sarah Welch, Planning Department, that light protection and utility use like substations, and those are allowed in all R1 districts currently. So even like OG&E substations.
Thank you.
But for the setback today, I mean, I think we can approve it.
Not subject to the fence, because we're going to hear that at a separate time.
I mean, let's put it in there as cap cedar, and that way when they come back with the fence, it's cap cedar.
All right. Then I'll make a motion to approve case number 16107 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for requested variance, subject to the discussion as to the fence requirements being cedar and capped.
I'll second it, sorry.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you very much.
we didn't have a fence permit. Item number 3 is case number 16109, a request of Williams Box Forsham Boulevard on behalf of Ball Game LLC for a variance to side yard setbacks located 2303 South Missouri Avenue.
Hi there. Mason Schwartz, 522 Colcord Drive, on behalf of the applicant. Sarah, do you mind pulling up the first page of our statutory conditions, if that's possible? There we go. Got an annotated map here. So this is a variance request. This property is located east of I-35, south of Southeast 15th Street. It is a approximately 0.45 acre piece of property. Right now, it shows some stuff there, but it's not developed with any permanent buildings. Our client is looking to develop an industrial warehouse in accordance with the I-2 zoning. There's an industrial warehouse operation directly to the north of it, so it'll be smaller than that, but it'll be similar in nature. So it's 67 feet in terms of frontage, which is the lot width. The codes, as you see the R1 zoning to the west and the south there, the Codes require setbacks that are increased for residential zoning abutting I-2. The problem, on that point, with our south and our west setbacks, we are meeting the code requirements as it's shown to R1 there. The problem is there's a 3-foot strip of land along the north border of the property, which is shown by the yellow arrows there. We're not exactly sure why it was done that way when it was deeded and zoned. But obviously that 3-foot strip will never be developed for residential purposes. Might have something to do with an easement that was reserved back for utilities or whatever it is. So what we're asking for is a variance to the setback requirements on the north property line to allow us to build this building. The way we have designed this is it meets the 25 feet on the south part of the property directly. I mean, it's 25 feet exactly. So there's no real wiggle room with our site plan to be able to move this around. We've done it in the way that's, I think, minimum necessary to fix the variance issue. So, if we were to impose, the 25-foot setbacks on the north and the south, I think you're reducing the developable width of the property to like 17 feet. It would certainly not be feasible for industrial operations that it's zoned for. So the nature of the property, the way it's so much longer than it is wide, just creates that peculiar issue here. So we don't think it violates the intents and purposes of the plan. Again, that 3-foot strip is not what the code is contemplating when it includes increased setbacks for residential abutting. It's contemplating properties that are zoned naturally, potentially developed for residential, like on the south. So we believe it meets statutory conditions. Happy to answer any questions. Not aware of protests and would ask for your approval.
I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this one. Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application? Okay, anything from the board?
The 3-foot of property, is it attached to the property to the west?
Yeah.
Like, through
it
the
is.
ownership?
It is, yeah. And that's why we think it's probably was reserved some sort of, instead of reserving an easement, I guess they reserved it in the deed. It might have been to provide access, but I mean, access, utilities would be the only kind of access that you could have there. And there is an existing tree line along that strip, which kind of provides a buffer between our property and the property to the north. But
And the property just to the south of your property is zoned?
it's zoned R1, but it's not developed. So there is on the property to the south of that, there is a residence. That residence is located 160 feet from our south property line. So plenty of space. But we have designed it in a way to, space it as far as possible from that, because in theory, that could be developed residential to the south someday.
Just one variant side yard setback.
Yeah, and we designed it specifically because there was a number of variances that could have been in play, but we designed it specifically so it would only need that one variance. And again, I think it's one more point to reiterate. It's important to note that if you don't get the variance here, if you apply the code strictly as they are, I don't see how there's any feasible way the property could be developed under its I-2 zoning. I mean,
67 foot wide.
yeah, because you're cutting it down at that point to 17 or something.
Only question I have is if staff has any other information as far as why we ended up with that 3-foot strip, or is it just something funky in history?
Again, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. We actually recently rezoned this site. The Planning Commission may have seen it, right? It was recently rezoned to I-2. And at that time, our records showed that gap was even wider. And then when Mason submitted his application, they've done more research and narrowed it to 3, but we don't know what the gap was for.
Yeah, and to clarify, I think that was done in 2024 when my client bought the property. He bought it. He didn't know at that time that there was going to be this issue until he went to develop it, and that's when I got involved. But
I'd say future development in this area is going to be industrial, most likely anyway.
Anything else? All right. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16109 for the purpose that it meets statutory requirements for the requested variance.
Get a second.
Second.
Okay, now we got it. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
the record reflect technical difficulties.
Okay,
Okay, we'll do a voice vote. So Mr. Udi? Mr. Noble?
Aye.
Mr. Sita?
Aye.
Mr. Voorhees?
aye,
Okay, it's approved.
you're approved.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 4, case number 16118 is a request of Hans Butzer on behalf of the Oklahoma City National Memorial Foundation for a variance to sign regulations in the DBD Downtown Business District located at 620 North Harvey Avenue. And there was an approval of recommendation by the design group.
Okay,
Hello, my name is Ben DeCooper with Butzer Architects and Urbanism. We also have Carrie Watkins, President and CEO of the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum, in attendance today. We are coming forward requesting a variance for signage for the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum forward, which is in addition to the museum. I'm just going to read from some of our notes from the application and the questions that were asked. We are requesting a variance to exceed specifically the 400 square foot max for attached building signage. We've gone forward, as mentioned, to the DDRC and got a recommendation of approval for 634 square feet of attached building signage. For a lot of reasons, the site is unique. Not only given its history, but also because of its scale. At the full size of a city block, we think that our proposed addition that would result in 634 square feet is the minimum necessary to alleviate an unnecessary hardship. Taking the cumulative square footage of the existing Journal Record building and our proposed museum addition, we come out to roughly 72,300 square feet of building facade. And then, considering the ratio between the proposed signage and that cumulative building square footage, we come out to roughly less than 1%. The primary objective from our client's brief was to increase awareness of the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum. It's apparent that visitors will spend time on the memorial grounds and enjoy their time and leave without necessarily understanding or realizing that there was a museum experience to be had at the corner of Northwest 6th Street and North Harvey Avenue. The site is the most popular tourist attraction in the state of Oklahoma, and it's a powerful driver for the local economy. And our client has shared that they think raising awareness for the museum component with signage is critical to the future success of the memorial. When it comes to addressing the public good and not impairing or a proposal on the aesthetics of the context, we have proposed attached building signage that in some cases is incised in the rain screen facade and is intentionally scaled, proportioned, colored to match the memorial gates of time. So it's similar yet different. So we think it's a respectful addition, not only to the memorial's neighbors, but also to the grounds itself and its visitors.
I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay, anything from the board? Ready for a motion?
Nothing else? You guys good? Good. All right. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16118 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Oh, wait a minute. We have a question.
The application seems to ask for 653.55 square feet. You mentioned a different number.
Okay. On our square footage breakdown in the building elevations, we, let's see, there was an existing signage total of, okay. Thank you. So yes, the total proposed would equal 653.55 square feet,
Okay.
which is 253.55 square feet over the maximum of the 400 allowed.
Want to be sure you got everything you were asking for. If it was less. Thank you.
All right. So we got a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 5, case number 15936 is an application by Olga Ferrari on behalf of Rancho Bueno LLC to allow home sharing located at 7300 Northwest 13th Street. And this was continued from June 5th. We had continued it to this meeting.
Good afternoon. My name is Monica Linville. I'm here representing Rancho Bueno LLC and Olga Ferrari. I'm here requesting a special exemption for home sharing for the property located at 7300 Northwest 13th. The home has 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and it's a 1546 square feet. And we will accommodate 6 guests, or whatever number you allow me to. And I'm requesting the permit for 1 year. Oh, I don't know if we can do it for more, but it's just up to you.
Just the applicant signed up. I don't have anyone else signed up to speak on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay, anything from the board?
We deferred this for 6 months because I think it was operating at the time. Do we have another history on this?
Do we have what?
Any more
Yeah,
history?
my client didn't know that. And they did not request a permit earlier because the property manager at that time informed them that it was not required and it was not necessary. Now they fully understand the importance that, that's something that has to be done and we have to follow the rules. So we deeply apologize again. We did back at that time. They didn't know for sure. So we are requesting, please, if we can operate back again. And we would like to have it at least for 1 year.
And in the last 6 months, you have not been operating this? as
We
an
have a
Airbnb?
long-time rental, for 3 months at a time.
And let's just go over the application a little bit. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
Yes.
So I would like to see the maximum number of guests to be at 7.
Okay.
I would like to request that the quiet hours be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.,
Okay.
which you have starting at 9. I just want a 9 to 8. And then the number of vehicles that can be on the premises would be, can they access the garage?
We have a 2-car garage and we have a big driveway. In the driveway, we can park kind of like 4 cars.
Right.
It's kind of like.
Can they use the garage?
Yes, of course, yes.
Okay, so I
it's-
would say a maximum number of vehicles to be 6,
Okay.
2 in the garage and 4 in the
Okay.
drive, and no on-street parking.
Okay, I understand.
Is the swimming pool working?
It is a swimming pool on the property, yes.
Anything else? We ready for a motion? Wait a minute.
I'm gonna see if anything comes up.
There's no rental history on this address.
Okay.
Okay.
Good? All right. Then I will make a motion to approve case number 15936 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the following modification. Maximum number of guests shall be 7. Quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. A 6-car maximum, 2 in the garage, 4 in the driveway. No on-street parking, and for a term of 1 year.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. Have a great day.
Wait a
Second.
minute, we need to vote.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Okay, now you're approved.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 6 is case number 16101, is an application by Jonathan Rios on behalf of Irene Moldaldo and German Moldaldo to allow home sharing located at 217 Northwest 88th Street.
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Reyes. I'm here on behalf of Irene Maldonado. I'm here looking for a 1-year home share license. The property is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1043 square foot property, and we're only allowing 6 guests total. Quiet hours are from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. Are there any questions, concerns?
And I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay, board?
Just for your information, there were 2, well, 1 written, well, two, I guess, protests, but written by the same person.
Okay. I wasn't
Do
aware
you,
of that.
do you have that? No?
No, I do not.
We can get you a copy of that. I'd like for you to reach out to them just so they have your contact
Of
information.
course, yeah, definitely. When were they submitted, do you know? Or what were they?
November
come to?
25th.
Okay, I can reach out to them.
And you can read it. They just don't want an Airbnb in the neighborhood.
Okay. In person?
And this being the first time that this is gone up.
Into that neighborhood? Yeah, that's happened before, so I can definitely reach out to them.
No, and I have no problems or no changes to the application, so
Okay.
as is.
Then I will make a motion to approve case number 16101 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions. Now, did you want on-street parking?
Yeah, we can add that. No on-street parking, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. With the only modification being that there shall be no on-street parking.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cash. You're approved.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Item number 7, case number 16103 is an application by Lauren Jones to allow home sharing located at 2268 Northwest 54th Street.
Give us your name and address and tell us about the application, please.
Lauren Jones, 2268 Northwest 54th Street. Years ago, some extenuating circumstances took me from Belle Isle to my parents' home in Edmond to help take care of my elderly parents. And when it came time to transition to a new license type, I decided I wanted to try for the special exception just because I've enjoyed doing Airbnb. I kind of pride myself on screening my tenants well, with maybe just a few exceptions. We had a pretty bad experience over 4th of July, but I really kind of enjoyed it. We have a couple Airbnbs on my street, and I've gotten to know some of the owners, and I actually have a good friend staying in one that's a few houses down from mine, and I've just really enjoyed being a host and being a host in Belle Isle. And so I thought I'd apply for the special exception and just see how it went.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone, got somebody who wants to address the board on this application. Come on up.
My name is Taylor Gorgian, and I am at 2601 Northwest 56th Street, just on the other side of Villa. And I'm here for another case, which happens to be in a very similar neighborhood. And a few points that she brought up, wanted to bring attention to you all. There are a lot of more and more Airbnbs operating in our neighborhood, so much that it's changing the community. She mentioned herself that there are multiple on her block, and there are multiple on the other side of Villa. So this is an area where we pride ourselves in community, and one of the important factors is the sense of community in Oklahoma City, and one of the home sharing hesitations is how it would change the community around it. So just wanted to speak on behalf against it because we have so many, sorry, it's not you. And she mentioned herself that in July there was a problem, and there's problems like that in our neighborhood. And a part of my question on the next one is, how do we file complaints? How do we, where's the regulation for these? I submitted a secondary follow-up email to Cynthia that there's been 2 Airbnbs operating without the home sharing permits in our neighborhood, and how are these being monitored, caught, looked at from your board of adjustments for management? It is a growing concern for us neighbors, so that's all I have.
And I'll try to answer some of that for you. Oklahoma City did pass a new ordinance. There is a new software system that they're using to follow and track all of the Airbnbs and all the special exceptions, and also the ones that are operating without special exception. So as that process gets further down the road and used more, they will be able to catch those people operating without. I'll say this, for this block, which is block 10, Northwest 54th, this is the only Airbnb within that block, and it's about 20 houses long. Only legally operating special exception on that block.
Which does prove the point even more, right? That she's just said there's multiple on her block that no one knows about.
Yeah, I kind of meant like the whole, I'm counting like all of 54th, you know, and.
Wait a minute, step up to the microphone so we can get.
And so the block is just on the south side of 54th. So that's just the way this was blocked.
Gotcha.
When it was originally platted.
I understand.
And under the ordinance, only 10% of any individual block can have a special exception. So 2 within, if there's 20 houses, you could have 2.
Okay. There was the other.
And then the other is the Action Center, right? I mean, that's the phone call. So you call the Action Center, file a complaint. It's really hard for them because the Action Center doesn't know if it's being Airbnb'd or not, really. And so it is a difficult, that's what the software will then help.
And is there any, like, I heard that you delayed 6 months for the other one, but is there any?
If they're operating before they get a special exception, it has been the board's,
Practice.
yeah, our practice to then delay the special exception for as long as they've been operating.
And is there troubleshooting saying, like, if she's saying, hey, the gal before, like, I wasn't operating, but did you check Airbnb's website? Do you do due diligence?
That's what the software does. We just implemented it. We're just a couple of months into actually running it.
Okay.
Before, it was up to us individually to try to track that. I don't know if you've ever tried to track an individual address on Airbnb, but
It's
you can't
hard.
just put the address in, right? It's
For their privacy, but yeah.
It's a search, so
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a question as to
Yeah.
July. So in regards to July, was this a different home that you were operating as an
No,
Airbnb?
it was that one. It was a July 4th incident. I had some guests that were supposedly in town for business, and they were just lighting fireworks all night long. And I was unaware. The neighbors reached out the next morning, but at that point, I was like, I can't help you. I would have called if they would have contacted me, I would have, gone to the home and I would have called the police. But no one reached out to me till the next morning. And neighbors did reach out to me, but not until the following morning. And I've always, any guest or any neighbor that I've spoken with, especially the next door neighbor, I was actually really close friends with her ex-boyfriend, and they had my phone number. So if there was anything that came up that was out of the ordinary, they would call me. But they were out of town for July 4th. So,
Have you been operating this home as an Airbnb since that time?
since
Since
the
July.
fireworks?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are operating with a license, but not with a special exception, right?
Right. I was waiting for the court date, waiting to come here.
When was the license issued?
She's had two, like 22 and 24.
It says from 22 to 24,
Yeah.
so that means that it expired at that point. Which is still better than, I think, other Airbnbs who have not done anything at all. But regardless, I think it sounds like you've been operating both without a license and a special exception up to this point.
Yeah, but I just moved late last year
Out of the house?
out of my Edmond house with my parents, my elderly parents, where I was helping with caretaking.
Okay.
So just late last year.
So do you live in this house?
No, not currently.
So you moved out of this house? I'm trying to figure out.
No,
what
no,
you're
I'm
saying.
sorry. When I moved out of this house,
You moved to
I
Edmond.
moved in to help my parents, unsure of when I would move back to Belle Isle.
And that's when you were operating as an Airbnb?
Yes, yeah. With all my stuff in it, my furniture and stuff, and with the intention of moving back. But then life sort of changed, helping my parents, caretake for my parents, and then also getting engaged, getting pregnant, and trying to decide where we were going to maybe raise our family.
So I think that the hard part is that the previous applicant was here because we put a 6-month delay because she had been operating it for 6 months without a special exception, without the license.
So when did you find out you needed a special exception?
When I filed my renewal paperwork, and I do think in the past I dropped the ball and didn't renew when I didn't know. It was very I don't want to say an honest mistake, but I've kind of had a lot going on, and I do think I missed that renewal. And so when I went to renew it, I didn't even, I was not aware that I needed to do the special exception. Obviously, once they followed up with me, I was like, oh my gosh, of course I need to do this.
'Cause you don't live in the house.
Then I just followed the steps and, changed the fee. I had to pay a little bit more for my application fee and stuff.
And I think not knowing that does make a difference to me, not knowing the rules and finding out the rules later and not operating it, knowing you were operating it illegally.
Yeah.
Is something, but we can still make a decision. It's up to you guys. So what we would do if we did not do it and deferred this for a time period, you could not operate this as an Airbnb.
Okay.
When is your last booking?
I have someone in there right now.
On a what? 30-day?
No, they're there for I think 8 or 9 days. They're traveling with their animal. Okay. I do prefer the longer, I do like the longer stays, and a lot of times it's just, I allow dogs, I have a nice backyard,
Yeah.
and I think it's a lot of times people needing some accommodation for their animal as well.
Right. Any stay longer than 30 days, you wouldn't need a special exception, so that's
Oh, okay,
why I was
no,
asking.
yeah, no, I don't think I've ever had a 30-day.
Unfortunately, I come from I work in a world where ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And so, to me, I'm willing to not deny, but defer this to a later date. I just don't know how many months I'm willing to do this. Very similar to like the last applicant that we asked her to wait 6 months, and that's why she was here today. I definitely would be welcome to receive input as to I'm just one vote though.
Explain the hardship too. Give me, you gotta pay the rent, you gotta pay the mortgage and, right.
I think I'll be pretty sad if I can't be a host anymore, but I think I'll just pivot, life happens,
Try to get a 30-day, and that's what I would suggest, is to try to get a 30-day stay for the next
Oh, I see what you're saying.
30, or yeah, for the next, whatever we say, 3 months.
I mean, we're talking about going back to July at this point. So you're almost talking 6 months.
6 months. Tell me what happened in July.
Oh, it was just
Just a fireworks?
It was just a fireworks thing, and just
Yeah.
not being respectful of the neighbors or my quiet hours.
Yep.
And
Which
I
is
just,
kind of,
I wish I
they
would've
had
had-
the opportunity. There's, I was really surprised there was no protests on this, being in Belle Isle where it is, and in fact on this block.
and the Action Center reached out to me, and I had an opportunity to kind of like share my part too. And I really wish someone would have reached out to me, because I don't pride myself. I pride myself on like not necessarily like maintaining like a part of the community, but like making sure that I like really screen my applicants, and I don't accept people that haven't had reviews, or so that, because I know it's a great neighborhood, it's a wonderful neighborhood. So yeah, it was just an unfortunate firework thing where it was younger gentlemen, and they were just lighting fireworks till I think 2 or 3 a.m.
Well, it sounds like you have, for the most part, run a good short-term rental. Unfortunately, just the fact that you didn't have the license in place, which has been, as stated earlier, it's been a practice of this board to assign a commensurate time period where you don't operate. Would it be possible for you to put a long-term tenant in for 6 months and come back and?
I think the only negative, or the only like downside, is that when you cancel like future stays on Airbnb, you are not, after so many cancellations, you're off the platform. And so if I cancel all my current,
How far out are your current? How far out are your
probably
current?
until March. I have a lot of repeat customers that come back and stay, and so life does happen, and your ignorance is not an excuse, and I totally understand that, and I'm embarrassed to say that I let it lapse. And if I have to pivot, I'll pivot. I'll sell my furniture, and I will probably just switch it to a long-term rental.
You've got your hand raised. You need to come up to the podium.
Got 2 hands raised.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Behind you.
Hi, my name is Haley Harris. I'm also a Belle Isle
It works on
resident.
both.
I was just doing some quick fact checking on your Airbnb. I need to bring to attention that you're not being wholly truthful based on reviews. This home has been consistently rented months, days, weeks at a time, last stayed 2 weeks ago. Like, all of this is public record. You have reviews that say things like, we were just passing through for the night and were able to book. I am not here on this issue. I'm here on the other Belle Isle Airbnb that I'm protesting, but with what information I was able to find in the last 3 minutes on Airbnb's app, I'm not comfortable with this in my neighborhood.
Yeah, address the board.
Sorry,
yeah.
just like, most of you are over here. So to the board, I would like to mention just a quick fact check, probably necessary some more research here. The statements do not reflect what Airbnb is showing to the general public. Thank you.
Did you have another comment? Okay.
Covered.
It has been consistently booked, and some people are just there for the night. And I wasn't,
Yeah, I mean, that's how
trying
this
to
works.
not.
I understood. I think we're just gonna have to, come to a conclusion on how long that we're gonna ask for this to be deferred.
I'm gonna say 6 months.
Me too, I'm good with that.
Okay.
And in those 6 months, again, if you're gonna long-term lease it, great. You don't have to come before us or anything else. But rather than deny the application today, a deferral is in your best option to then come back.
I probably will just not and turn it.
But I'm just saying, we'll
Okay.
leave it open.
Okay.
That way, if we deny and then you had to redo, you have to pay again.
Okay.
So a new application fee.
Do you know if do you all send a letter, or do you send something showing that so that maybe I won't get penalized from the platform, from Airbnb's platform? Because I will have to cancel.
You'll get the minutes from this meeting, and you can provide them with that information, but I do want to reiterate what Don's point was, is we can't regulate anything 30 days or greater. So you can do whatever you'd like. It's your property. You can do whatever you'd like with the property. It's just that anytime you go under that 30-day threshold, you're required to have the license, and then if you don't live there, there's a special exception. So we leave it open, and you can revisit it if you'd like to, but at least this way, if you do decide that you want to continue to operate the short-term rental, you don't have to start the process over.
Okay, I understand, yes.
Just no stays longer or shorter than 30 days.
Okay.
Defer it.
I'm going to make a motion then to defer case number 16103 to the, let me say June 4th, that's 6 months from now, June 4th, 2026 meeting.
I have June 18th. Oh, no, sorry. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Oh, that was the filing date, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes, June 18th.
June 18th then.
June 18th.
My birthday.
You will remember.
All right. Okay, motion and a second to defer to June 18th.
Yes.
Okay, cast your votes.
And don't operate it short-term between now and then.
Yeah, there's not a license there so she would be subject to code for that.
Right.
You need the license, there's not a current license, even though that's what you were doing without the
Yeah.
special exception.
And you might just stay for this next case, so just.
All right, item number 7 is, I'm sorry, that's the one we just did. Item number 8, case number 16104 is an application by Clay Condry on behalf of Olendra LLC to allow home sharing located at 2600 Northwest 57th Street. And this is the application that we had some protest that's in our desk.
Hello, my name is Clay Condry. I'm here to request a special exception from the board for a home share license for 2600 Northwest 57th.
Okay. All right, I've got 2 folks signed up on this one. Taylor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lauren?
And there's a few written ones too. I don't know if you've seen the written protests or not, but we can get you copies of them.
Hello again. My name is Lauren Harris. My home is pictured just to the west of the home in question. I'm at 2608 Northwest 57th Street. Thank you for the opportunity to come and talk to you about this application. I just made a significant investment in my family's future. I have 2 sons that will hopefully attend Belle Isle Middle School right down the street. And we made this investment, closed on the house after this application had been filed. So my opposition begins with transparency. It continues with safety and the commercial nature of this property. I want to note that I work for a property developer well-known in the area who operates a high-end Airbnb. I am directly employed by that business, and I'm uniquely positioned because I'm not in opposition to Airbnbs and the business model. I am just opposed to this Airbnb listing presented today. We've had several discussions with the applicant. This short-term rental application was not mentioned verbally During the time where I was closing on my house, this was not disclosed. Applicant has initiated multiple conversations with my spouse, but has not mentioned the commercial purpose of the home. He did mention that he has multiple properties by the same builder, and it's likely that these also operate commercially. This clearly makes this property an enterprise. It's not a residential use. Belle Isle is a safe community. I left the Waverly area where my sons were novel children who were biking in the neighborhood, making friends, and walking to school for this new home to hopefully continue that kind of environment. And they have lots of friends on the block. We're finding that that's the case in Belle Isle. There is an Airbnb that's operating illegally just to the west of this that we found out about going through this process. 2 Airbnbs on our block, especially as we're the main foot traffic for children going to the middle school. In addition to the pool at this home, this is a large home. It has high occupancy rate. It has a pool. It's going to attract people who are looking to entertain, who are looking to have a good time. I understand that the application specifies no parties, no one over a certain age group, and a few of those limitations. Even with that said, my opposition remains. I do not think that this is going to be an efficiently managed property, and living mere feet from it is just not the ideal scenario for my family and I. Thank you.
I have just a question for you. You said there was more than one on that block?
Yes. The other one, it's on Airbnb, and I called just to find out the information on if there had been an application, if there was a license, and we found out that that home is operating without license. And so I have concerns about the oversight with the Airbnbs, just with what we understand is already operating in our area.
So that block's 9 houses, and so there could only be one legally. So even if we approve today, the one that is operating illegally could not get a legal special exception.
Sure. And I think that
Just wanted you to know that information.
that is helpful to know. Thank you.
Taylor Gorgian, 2601 Northwest 56th Street. I'm also speaking on behalf of the Lippards of 26. I'm at 2601, they're at 2600 Northwest 56th Street. Before I start, in regards to the other Airbnb that she mentioned, it's at 5701 Miller Avenue, rather. I also called this morning. So if there's another, if you all want to dig into that one, it's at 5710 North Miller Avenue, and they could have just provided me wrong information. So if they're already have it properly licensed, then that would stop this one from going through. Just to make sure that we were right. We're just civilians calling in on that. So when it comes to the municipal code, it is required that home sharings, that it's their primary residence, and as it was stated, this is not this applicant's primary residence. They have multiple Airbnbs, and it seems as though they follow around the builder and then list these as Airbnbs. That's what has been communicated to the neighbors. And then I mentioned the 5701 North Miller Avenue operating as an Airbnb. So, and then when it comes to these types of things, as we've alluded, I know that you shared with us, Dawn, is it, that there's a new application for us to track the Airbnbs or for everyone to be tracking the new Airbnbs or electronic system?
The city has a new software.
The city, okay. Because if this is the second one, then that would be 2 on the block, and I think I already addressed but wanted to revisit that it's incredibly hard for It seems that the city and the Board of Adjustment don't have the tools or the capacity to properly manage home sharing enforcement. Obviously, it's scattered across the wards, and of the home sharing applications, 5 of the 7 on the docket today are in the Belle Isle, or in Ward 2. So that's highly populated. It seems that there's a request to look at, I know it's block by block, but even in wards or neighborhoods to make a more general approach of what percentages can be occupied by Airbnbs. This does include a pool, which I am directly behind that pool, and it creates noise, activity, safety concerns, and the turnover of the guests that are unfamiliar. That house has windows that looks directly into my backyard and into my home, so I couldn't fight that based on the build allowances for the R1s. But, and this was a block that was previously had one church on it, or this lot had one church on it, and the developer broke it into 3 houses. So for congestion purposes, now you have 3 homes in an area that was already just one. And so the traffic is already more condensed for those 3 homes in that one lot area. And the same lot behind, like my neighbor next door to me, there's only 2 ranch-style homes at the same width, so you have 3 houses back to back to back. And that same builder also built the other corner house where you have that Airbnb that's in question that has 3 houses in the same congested area. So now you have 6 houses in these one-lot areas that are on the same block that you're looking at. So it's already a block that's getting even more congested as is. And then I did move here from Denver, where a lot of the Airbnbs are popping up. As you know, Denver's a city where it's grown like crazy, but the sense of community has evaporated there. And I moved here intentionally because of the sense of community that Oklahoma City has, that you get to know your neighbors. And I haven't had the chance to get to know the applicant. There's someone else living there already. It's already occupied by somebody else, or he's renting it to someone else already. Whether that's a long-term or short-term, I don't know, but it's already being, someone else is already vacating that home, which would be good to know if that is a long-term or short-term rental. I guess, and the last thing that I had, and that's it, actually. So thank you all for your attention.
One point of clarification, correct me if I'm wrong. An Airbnb does not have to be the owner's primary residence.
Right. Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's what they're here for.
Yeah, okay.
We're also, just to respond real quick, we are also not the Airbnb police.
I was going to mention that too.
So, contrary to popular belief, I'm sure, although we grant the special exceptions, it is not our requirement to police that. That's code enforcement, and I think that at that point, maybe take it up with the mayor, city manager, whoever it may be, city council. I know that the city council is well aware of the opposition to Airbnbs. That's part of the reason that they enacted the recent ordinance changes to kind of limit some of that. I would definitely encourage you to talk to your city council member to see if they can impose greater restrictions, but up to that point, we can only follow the guidelines that we've been given by them. Sarah, I'm curious to know, do you show anything in the system that there is an Airbnb already operating on this block?
I wasn't able to find anything immediately using our Rentalscape, but I have staff checking right now to see if we've issued licenses. So just give us a minute.
Okay. And then I guess my question to the applicant is, she mentioned that the home is currently being rented. Is this at least a 30-day rental at this point for that?
Right now, it's a 6-month rental, and it's a guy that I've known for, over a decade. He's the local former pro athlete. I mean, he's a high quality. It's him, his wife, and their new young son.
Yeah,
that's living there.
Are you the property manager?
I'm the owner, so I purchased the house. We closed on it subsequent to the application. And I will say, I've got one other similar property over on Northwest 44th that's the higher value and with higher value homes on the block. And with myself taking a management role, we have had no issues. And I've sold houses on that block to some of my neighbors. We're talking, 7-figure houses. And we've been able to mitigate a lot of the problems with communication. And it doesn't behoove me to rent this house to somebody that's going to tear it up. It's going to cost $30,000 to repaint the inside of the house. So people can't book automatically. They have to request the book, and then I shake them down. And if it's going to be somebody that's going to have more than 10 people on property, I let them know, I'll show up. And after that, they usually don't want to book. I prefer to book adults that can afford to repair anything, any issues that they have. And, I would rather have the thing sit vacant than have a big party there. It's the last thing I want to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. No, and that's understood, and that's, a responsible operator and business owner. High-end property, you don't want it tore up. Just looking at the application itself, it's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. You only want a maximum of 8 guests.
Sorry?
You only want a maximum of 8 guests?
I want 8 staying overnight. I'd like, 12 on property would be the maximum I would request. Typically, if they want to have more than 10 people, I have them ask me. If they're in town for a softball game and they've got family in Edmond, they want to come down, then, I'll say, okay, cool. But if it's 4th of July weekend, and, on Airbnb, they have to book guests, and if they book my house or try to book my house and they say it's 2 guests, I'm like, why do you want this huge house with the pool with only 2 guests? I really need to know the names so I can look at, all 8 adults that are going to be there to make sure. And I do as much background stuff as I can.
For me, and when I approve applications on the number of guests that will be there overnight.
Yeah, 8 overnight is my request.
Okay.
And I would reduce the time on the quiet hours. It being having a swimming pool and neighbors 5 feet away, it's something that for me, I do it on every house.
Sure.
Like 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
And this is a 50 by 140 lot. So the density, the fill-in of the density, it's not like they split these lots in an irregular fashion. These are all standard city lots. The church was 3 standard city lots, so these are the same size as, a regular city lot.
Yeah, no, and I definitely remember it coming through Planning Commission. It's, again, I'm concerned for your neighbors. They're here speaking on it. I want to make it as easy as a transition if we allow it as it can be. It's the first time this has ever come up on this property, so no one knows how it's actually going to go.
Sure. On my end, I can just offer, communication.
Right. And you've been here before. I remember you on those other cases on 44th. So.
I got a hand back here. I didn't see who it was.
Can you clarify, so that was a 9 p.m. quiet hours till 8 a.m.? Because it says 10:30 and 7.
No,
so.
I would change that. That's what I said. That'd be a change. And a maximum of 8 guests, too, no matter what.
Yeah, because if it's not to be a party house, why would you have so many?
So, and then also, we usually do it for a term of 1 year as an initial term. So just so that you guys know, the applicant will be back here in a year trying to seek a renewal. And then that's where you guys can provide more input as to whether or not he's held his part. And so if he hasn't, then you can present that information. And a lot of times we've started getting to a point where we will deny applicants if they've not operated the property in a good way. Now, I agree with the applicant. If I'm going to make a significant investment, I'm not going to let a bunch of college kids in there who are going to tear my house down as a homeowner, and as we all are. It can be pretty costly when you've got to make any wall repairs and have to repaint everything. So I suspect that he will run a tight ship when it comes to this particular home. So, but I know we talked a 1-year term, how many cars?
I understand. Can I talk, that 6 month, or 12 months, he did say that he has someone for 6 months, so he actually would only be operating it for 6 months?
Right, I mean, that's prerogative
Yeah.
on the owner.
So it would be just 6 months from or 12 months.
Yeah, and he would actually
there's-
come here before then because the time to get it done and
Yeah.
everything else, so.
If there's not an Airbnb already on the block.
Yeah, you'd receive notice before 12 months from today.
Also,
May-
just
may-
for your information, you can always call the Action Center, and I've got some app on my phone that I've used to complain before. It's pretty easy. And the Action Center phone number, 405-297-2535.
I'll look at the notes, but I
It's
appreciate you
front
sharing.
page of the Oklahoma City
Yeah.
website.
And I hope I never have to use the phone number.
Understand?
Like,
Yeah.
Sarah?
I just want to clarify something, just Sarah Welch, Planning Department. The reason that he's here is he doesn't live in the property, right? He needs the special exception because he's not the primary resident. Because this block, which is this is how we consider the block that's highlighted, he'll be the only one allowed on the block. So he wouldn't even be able to apply if someone was already operating a special exception. And by approval today, nobody on this block will be able to even apply for another special exception, at least within this square. Yeah.
so the person that is already operating is on Miller in that square.
I cannot.
So they do not have a special exception.
That's why I was just
Correct.
asking.
And I cannot confirm. We don't have anybody on that block that has a license, and we don't show it advertised on Airbnb. However, if they are operating and they
It is
would.
advertised on Airbnb.
Okay, on my.
I submitted it in my email.
Okay, I'm just saying live at this meeting on our Rentalscape software, it is not showing advertised at the address that we have assigned. So if they are operating and they do not have a special exception, and they try to apply, if this special exception is present, they cannot be processed. They cannot come seek the same approval that this gentleman's getting.
And I know you're not the Airbnb police, so if someone is operating without, is there a penalty? Like, do you fine them, or do they
Yeah,
say?
no, there's a fine that they would get because they are not licensed to operate.
Okay.
And if you guys call me, by all means, call the Action Center too, but if you call me, I will go over there and show up and make them be quiet.
You live in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw the Montana plates, so I didn't
Yeah, I
know.
live in Northwest Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Just as a point of clarification, I'm not concerned about drunk adults, but if there's a drowning incident in an unmanned pool at a party house, that's going to be traumatic for the whole neighborhood. These things happen. I don't know what kind of safety parameters or anything like that. I also would like to offer a point of clarification on street parking. With children walking down the block in the morning, riding their bikes, if we could disallow street parking.
I won't allow it.
Okay. And then additionally, you came to my house yesterday unannounced, which is very uncomfortable, and I shouldn't
Would you
have-
address the board, not the...
Okay, applicant came to my house yesterday. He does show a willingness to show up to the property, but I didn't feel the need to mention that until now. But there's such an air of distrust in this application scenario, and that needs to be considered. He is going to be able to operate this for 6 months, and then we can come back and speak our piece again when his long-term rental is out. But just with the going on record, the lack of transparency is problematic as a neighbor to this rental.
Well, hopefully he'll get an extension on that 6-month rental to a year and he'll never use it as a short-term lease.
Fun times.
Clay Condry again. I don't know how I would announce a doorbell ring. I was, as a neighbor, just coming over to.
Address the board, please.
It's okay.
I mean, I've never had an issue where a neighbor didn't want to have open communication. I didn't have any of their contact information. I found their email through Miss Lakin's email after I just rang the doorbell is all I did. And I was just gonna explain, she had sent an email with a bunch of mischaracterizations and essentially stating that I was already operating an Airbnb. So I just wanted to let her know, hey, the guy next door, he's a good dude. I've known him for a decade. We're not operating illegally. That's all I was going to say. I don't understand how that could be. I don't know what the controversy is.
All right, do we need, there seems to be some question. So the home, the property that that we've been provided as far as operating an Airbnb currently does not have a license, nor does it have a special exception. Is that correct?
I don't think there's any, like, the only reason this
that doesn't
person
have
is
anything to
before
do with
you
this case.
is because they're eligible to
I just
apply.
want to make sure that we are, this is the only one on that block.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It couldn't get here if there was another one on there.
With the only, just for the record, the only exception being if someone has been operating with the special exception prior to our ordinance that was approved in 2024.
They'd be grandfathered
And
in.
yes, they are allowed to keep applying and not be subject to our 10% rule as long as they are considered a timely renewal, which is applying prior to the expiration date of their current special exception.
And that property, I remember when it came through Planning Commission, it was it an ADU? I'm trying to remember what we did on the backside. It's that back property of those houses.
There are, if you're talking about this SPUD, there are 3 homes there.
Okay, so they did lots of it.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
8 guests, 9
One
to
more.
8 p.m. for maximum cars, no on-street parking in 1 year.
So if that one
Oh,
is grandfathered
Let
in,
me ask someone else about it.
because it has been operating long. Okay, so it's not
Clay?
licensed, it's not grandfathered in.
Would you be accepting to a extended number of days as the minimum?
No.
Not 2?
Well, no, I mean, 2 days, there will be a 2-day minimum, sure. Yeah,
A two-
I do not want less. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
I mean, if we can put that in the application, that just helps.
Absolutely.
2-day minimum when it comes to that time.
Yeah, I mean, I would, there's going to be a 2-day minimum.
Okay. Then I'm going to make a motion to approve case number 16104 for the purpose that it meets statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. Quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. 4-car maximum, no on-street parking for a term of 1 year and a 2-day minimum on all rentals.
Second.
Cast your votes. Thank you. You're approved.
It's approved.
Thank you.
Item number 9, case number 16105 is an application by Melissa Atkinson on behalf of Ernest Sanchez and Teresa Sanchez to allow home sharing at 3724 North Frankfurt Avenue.
Sorry, I'm short. Hello, my name's Melissa Atkinson. I'm here on behalf of a property at 3724 North Frankfurt in Oklahoma City. A little bit of details, I'm seeking a home sharing application. I'm special exception. This is actually my childhood home. My father passed away this year, unfortunately, and so I'm assisting my mom in maintaining, keeping the family property with us. So.
All right. I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? All right. Anything from the board?
There were no written protests either. It's a 4-bedroom home?
Yes.
How many baths?
2.
4-bed, 2-bath. Maximum number of guests you're requesting was 8?
I think I put 9, 2 per bedroom and 1. We do have a playpen that we offer in our Airbnbs, so just to have that.
You can sleep 9?
Yes.
Overnight without a playpen?
Well, the couch that we have
So the-
is a sofa.
The bedrooms will do 2 apiece, and then there's a couch. The application does say 8, it's just for you.
Okay.
You want 9?
But you want 9. And
If I could have 9. I mean, that would be the max at most.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. I can get to 9.
It is handicap accessible and does have a whole home Generac home generator, so we are positioned to be able to accept individuals that are handicapped for accessibility issues.
And I want to put the quiet hours between 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Perfect.
Can you use the garage? I don't.
No, that's converted.
So the carport,
Yes, 4 cars can park in the,
without blocking that sidewalk? That's why I was checking. I just wasn't sure.
I'm not sure. The sidewalk is kind of new.
I'll say 4 cars in the driveway, no on-street parking.
Okay.
And the term would be a year, first time it's come up.
Okay, perfect. I also want to say, I don't think I have any protests because I have connected with the neighbors. They do have my contact information. I do have another Airbnb. I do have great relations with my neighbors. We want to make sure that our properties are well maintained, and so we don't allow automatic bookings. We vet all of our guests, so, but awesome, thank you.
Anything else? No. All right, then I'll make a motion to approve case number 16105 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. Maximum number of guests shall be 9. Quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. 4-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and for a term of 1 year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Item number 10, case number 16108 is an application by Lisad Alvarado on behalf of American Dream LLC to allow home sharing, 3008 Northwest 16th Street.
Good afternoon. This is Lisad Alvarado. I'm applying for
Give us your
3008.
address. Add your address in, please, for the
What was that?
record.
Your address.
Yes, please.
Your address.
Sorry.
Your address. State your address.
Yeah, 3008 Northwest 16th Street, Oklahoma City. And I'm just applying for the special exception for home sharing.
And I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay. Anything from the board?
It's a 3-bedroom home?
Yes.
How many baths?
2.
3-bedroom, 2 bath.
Mhm.
You want a maximum of 7 guests?
Yes.
You can put 3 cars in that driveway?
I believe it's going to be a max of 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a small driveway.
I'd like to adjust the quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay.
The term would be 1 year.
Okay.
No on-street parking?
No on-street parking.
Ready for a motion?
All right. I'll make a motion to approve.
Before you do that, give me just a moment. I may have to recuse on this case. Yeah, I'm going to recuse on this one.
Ready for a motion?
Yep.
All right. So I have a quorum. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16108 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements of the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. Quiet hours are adjusted to be 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., a 2-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and for a term of 1 year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Figured I'd remind you.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at item number 11. Case number 16110 is an application by David Bailey on behalf of Hestia Asset Management LLC to allow home sharing at 3633 Northwest 53rd Street.
Yeah, hi, my name is David Bailey, and I'm here today to request a special exemption for home sharing for the subject property at 3633 Northwest 53rd Street. This is a 3-bed, 2 full bath home at just over 1,680 square feet.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Anything from the board?
It is a 3-bedroom, how many baths?
2 full baths.
2. You're asking for 6 guests?
That's correct.
You already have the quiet hours from 9 to 8. The number of vehicles, 2 in the garage, 2 in the drive?
Yeah, the garage will be available for guests.
And then just add no on-street parking?
To 4-car max, 2 in, 2 out.
Yep. 1-year term.
Okay. Ready for a motion?
Nothing else? All right. Motion to approve case number 16110 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. There will be a 4-car maximum, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and for a term of 1 year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank y'all.
Item number 12, 13, and 14 have been 8th of 20.
Are we?
You want to talk?
You guys are doing a great job.
Oh, step up here and put that on the record.
Take whatever we can get.
It really is just me, isn't it? No, I just came to see how this works, and I thought, Chair Voorhees, I thought you all did an excellent job. Everybody seems really nice.
Thank you.
Isn't that great? Keep it up.
If you talk too much, you may get a big head.
Additional items, are we voting on?
We voted last. That's just a
Oh,
copy
that's
for
just
your
for me
records.
because I missed. Okay, no additional items, no board committees. Anybody want to say anything?
Just go home.
Peter? Okay. No other citizens to be heard. I don't have any other business. We're adjourned.
Awesome.
Thank you.